This husband and wife team is behind one of the fastest growing film festivals in the country.
Here with us now are the founders of the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival, Floyd and Stephanie Rance. Welcome.
Thank you so much for being here.
So exciting.
I know. So we've heard of Sundance and Cannes and all the other film festivals. What makes this one so different and unique?
You want to answer that, honey?
No, you go for it.
Okay.
I love it already.
Nice.
So sweet. So what makes our festival different? Martha's Vineyard. We're in Martha's Vineyard, which is a really great location. Has a huge history of African Americans on island. Back in the day when we were servants, the people who owned the homes left their homes to their servants, and that's how African Americans got history in Martha's Vineyard. Now, Floyd and I used to go there and holiday a lot when we were dating, and I thought it was a really great place. I did a bunch of events for a bunch of different spirit companies, and we rented this house one year, and someone by chance bought films, true story, and there was a line around the block, and I was like, wow, I think I might have something here. I kept it in the back of my mind. And an opportunity came up, and we said, let's just do this film festival.
Wow.
So why Martha's Vineyard in particular? Because of the historical?
Yeah.
Or because of your personal history with
Well, a little bit of both,
Vineyard.
I would say, yeah. We, as she said, we originally were going to do it in Barbados.
Right.
And then 9/11 kind of derailed that idea for a lot of people. So then, since we did visit Martha's Vineyard a lot, it kind of 1 and 1 makes 2 type of situation. So we're here, and then as she alluded to earlier, we did an event there. I forget what year it was. It was in the early 2000s, and it was great. It was a great event, and these filmmakers came, and serendipitously they showed the screen the films, and there was a line around the corner, and it's like, oh, okay.
Wow. And the rest was history, right?
The rest is history.
So far,
Well, what's been the key to its longevity? Because 11 years is pretty big. Other film festivals have come and gone and not stuck around. So what's your key?
I think it's the location. I think it's the quality of films that we show. I think it's the history and the caliber of film. I mean, we show some pretty amazing films, and a lot of our, who doesn't want to say I'm going to Martha's Vineyard this summer? It sounds nice rolling off your tongue. What did you just say, Lola? Oh, it's in Martha's Vineyard, no big deal. Exactly.
That's true. I think a big component and factor of it is that, her and I working together.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too mushy and gushy, but, just the love.
No, go ahead. We like that.
Come on.
No, go ahead.
Just the love that we share for one another, even though it gets a little combustible at times, as you can imagine.
What is that like, mixing business and pleasure?
Well,
because everyone says you're not supposed to do that.
It's hard a little.
Clearly, you guys have made it work.
It was intended. Like she's had other business partners, and I've had other business partners, and I actually told her going into her other ventures, that it's a little dicey when you work with other people you don't know, because the difference is when there's an argument. Me and her go to bed together, and we wake up together. So, I mean, you're married, so you know.
Well, so what's the key to balancing it all?
If you're not, if you're not married with a person and you don't live with them, it's just like, okay, click, and then you don't see each other. You don't have anything to share. We have children together, so at the end of the day, it's really about the home, the family, the kids. We have other responsibilities that we have to take care of, and that keeps us together. As opposed to if we weren't married,
this would have ended a long time ago.
Okay, but what about the business component? Do you both have lanes? You stay in your lane, you stay in your lane. How do you balance the lanes?
Women don't stay in their lane.
Wow.
I'm not getting into this one. No.
Shannon, please.
I'm gonna let you take care of that one later.
No, but you know what? Honestly,
Now listen, when you look at Michelle and Barack, you gotta be wondering, like, what is he? Does she come home and tell him, like, you need to do this, that, and the other, or you think she's just like, okay, he got it, he's got it? No.
I think that she offers really important advice.
Thank you. I think as well.
Exactly. So she answered the question.
Honestly, yes. But I don't think she answers. She's like, you got to do that.
No.
Putin says that to you, you gotta say this.
Add to that, he has his mother-in-law there as well, so she might drop a little knowledge every now and then too, right?
Can we get back to the film?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Speaking of the films, what are some of the big films that we can expect to see this year?
So we just got word we're going to show Baggage Claim, Searchlight's film. We're really excited about that.
Paula Patton's in that, right?
Yes, and Taye Diggs, so we're excited about that. We're showing Anita. documentary from Anita Hill, and she will be there, which is awesome. We're going to do a
Wow.
Q&A
Incredible.
after with her, and Charles Ogletree is going to moderate that. We're excited. We're showing Moms Mabley, Whoopi Goldberg's doc on the comedian Moms Mabley. We were showing like 56 films. It's hard to remember everything, but it's going to be a great festival.
Yeah, it's
How
really
do you go
shaping up
about
good.
choosing which films will be
Yeah,
featured?
that's where the argument comes in. 'Cause I get so attached sometimes to the filmmakers, and if they send me a nice email or something, I'm like, oh, well, Floyd's like, this
The
film
sympathy.
sucks. We're not showing this. And he's always right.
No, I'm
'Cause-
not right all the time.
No, he is, because sometimes I'll accept the film, and then, your audience will give you feedback right away, and they'll be like, so why'd you show this film, baby? And you're like, oh, yeah, Floyd was right about that film.
Well, do you have to watch a film more than once,
do.
or does it have
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
immediately hit you?
Sometimes they jump out and grab you.
Yeah.
And that's when
It's
you know those are the
no-brainers.
easy ones.
Yeah.
The tough ones are the ones
That are like this.
that are, kind of in the middle where it's like, kind of like that. And what happens also is that you get films that you've seen before.
Right.
So like you might send one and he might send one. It's the same subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, well, what are we going to do here?
Yeah, it feels just too familiar.
It's very familiar.
Right.
So, and then now you're telling your audience. So you have to think about, there's three components. You have to think about your attendees, you have to think about your filmmakers, and you have to think about your sponsors.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you have to think about all those three components, and you have to kind of make this spaghetti dinner for all these components.
And you've also said that at your film festival, it's not about just having a big celebrity name in the
Right.
film.
No, it's
That's
not.
about giving
It's not.
exposure to others, right?
Yes, it is. That is our main
Okay.
focus. We really wanted to stay true to that. A lot of film festivals do the whole celebrity thing, and that's great, but I just feel like if Denzel Washington's son is doing a film, and let's say you're doing a film, the audience is going to go to Denzel Washington's son film and not your film.
Actually, they'll be coming to mine.
Okay, bad example.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you get it. So,
Yes, I got you.
unless there's a big film and so if Baggage Claim, if they bring talent, then we have talent there. But I'm not
Okay.
going to just, have a celebrity gawking fest. That's
Right.
not what we're all about.
Gotcha.
If they're there, which they are, and they come, it's awesome. Because Martha's Vineyard is a kind of island where, A, it's really hard to get to. It's very secluded. And when celebrities do come, they don't, it's like they're regular people.
Right. So
Like
when
you're
they,
in
when they
line-
are in attendance, they are just normal
Normal
person.
people.
So we've had, like I was telling someone
Yeah, Eric
earlier,
Holder came.
The Attorney General Eric
And
Holder
you're like,
was there.
wait, is that Eric Holder?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gail King was there last year. She was
Just in
seen,
line, yeah,
seen in photos.
exactly.
So you'll see people, we're busy, obviously, me and her, but I'll see other filmmakers' photos and they'll post them, and I'm like, oh, wow,
I
look
didn't know
at
they were
that, look
there.
at that, look at
So
that.
it's
yeah.
nice.
Epatha Murkison was there last
She's
year.
awesome.
She's sweet.
She's great.
We
Yeah,
love
she's
her.
super. She's super.
So how has the Vineyard responded to this film festival?
So in the beginning, it was a little dicey in the beginning because I think that they were afraid it was going to be sort of like a Virginia Beach 4th of July Freaknik
right.
type thing, maybe.
Wow.
A Freaknik film festival?
Well, what happened?
No.
What she's saying is that before
Yeah.
we started in the early 2000s. Prior to that, there was like a Greek
Yeah.
thing in the
Right.
Vineyard.
Exactly.
And it kind of got out of control. Anytime you get young adults and alcohol together, it's going to get out of control.
Right.
So there was a little incident, and something happened, and words were said, et cetera, and then that kind of blew up. So then we kind of came on the heels, sort of kind of on the heels of that, like maybe 5 or 7 years later, we
Yeah.
came. So then that's what she's speaking of, that there was a little kind of like peeking out of the window, like, let's see what they,
Yeah.
let's see
Okay.
what they're
Now they
up
love
to.
us. It's like, oh, they're
but
nice.
originally
Rowdy.
they were very supportive of what we were putting out.
Yeah.
So we've gotten tremendous support,
Yeah.
not just from African Americans, but from non-African Americans
Yes.
as well. Been
Yes.
extremely helpful, very, very friendly,
Mm-hmm.
very cordial. Any event is predicated on cooperation.
It
you
is.
have to have. I mean, all this right here is predicated on cooperation.
Wow.
People have to cooperate, get along with each other, and make it happen. So when people see you doing something positive,
Right.
they typically will help you out.
Well, why do you think a festival like this is necessary, and it was so necessary for Martha's Vineyard's people to be receptive of it?
I think any film festival is necessary. I mean, it's funny, when we first started this, I did a search, and there's like a gazillion film festivals out there. I think what's really amazing about our film festival is that we've been able to get, HBO for 10 years and Macy's for 5 years and Saatchi for 5 years and, CNN and all those other sponsors. And they know that, if Floyd and Stephanie say we're going to do this, we're going to do it, and it's going to be a caliber event, and, it's going to be great. And I think it just works. And like I said, Martha's Vineyard has a huge history. And the clientele that comes to the event are typically, they're highly educated, they love to travel, they are a lot of professors, we get a lot of Harvard grads, a lot of judges, doctors, lawyers, and it just works out really well.
It's a Emperor of Ocean Park crowd.
Right, I didn't want to, right. Yeah, it's a different crowd, so, it's just
He's
nice,
there.
Yeah,
there as
both of
well?
you guys are there, so it's a nice, it's a nice mix of people who want to have a good time.
They're not pretentious.
No, because we're not, and that really sets the
everyone
tone.
is very approachable.
Yeah.
What separates us is we don't have a VIP. There's no VIP.
No, the island's VIP.
Everybody is, right?
Everybody's a VIP. That's a good
Right.
way of putting it.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
a VIP from, and then we get generations as well. So we
Right.
get grandma, we get the kids, and then we get the grandkids.
Right.
And in fact, I was just talking to someone here, and her mom was at the Vineyard. A friend of mine, I knew her mom, and it's a long story. But anyway, we get all types, from all different sectors, all different industries, from all over the world. That's all over the country, actually. It's a national event. That's
Yes.
the other thing that needs to be known is that it's a national event. People come from California, Texas, Florida, New Orleans, all over. I mean, it's to the point where we're kind of spilling out of Martha's Vineyard. We're doing an event tonight here in New York at another station called the A-List, entitled the A-List, where we're going to show five of our A-List shorts. To I would call them a VIP audience, but an executive audience.
In New York, it's,
Okay.
Right, it's a little different than New York.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
who should we be on the lookout for? Who's the next Spike Lee? Or the next Ryan Coogler, this fruit
Yeah,
film
I know. Wasn't that
director.
amazing?
We had him on the show the other day. The film is phenomenal.
There's a film called Home that is one of Floyd's friends.
Yeah,
I
his
like
name
is Jono.
Jono, yeah, I like.
Really
I like
great
Jono's
film.
What is it about?
It's about a gentleman who has mental illness, and he's trying to get out of the mental illness facility and get his own apartment so he can have a relationship with his son.
Okay.
So
It's a feature. It's
it's
really
a great
good.
story. He did an excellent
Yeah.
job. I can't say too much because it makes me seem like I'm showing favoritism.
I know, we love all our
But then there was
films.
another young lady by the name of Taliba Newman.
Taliba Newman's amazing.
Yeah, she did a really excellent job on
Sweet
her
Honey
piece
Child
as
is her
well.
short, yeah.
There's another film entitled Letters to My Sister. Shanae Speaks. It's a documentary about a young man who went to Yale, and his sister has it's not cerebral palsy, but she can't speak. She can't walk, and she's somewhat disfigured as well.
Wow.
So he's basically, it's somewhat therapeutic. He's kind of saying that, this is my sister, and I'm really proud of her. She's a hero of mine. So it's a real, and it's more so about the mother and her decisions, the decisions she made, as opposed to the young lady who's in the wheelchair. So it's a really interesting piece, and it's his first piece as well.
Now, you all have also founded a production company, Run and Shoot Filmworks.
Yes.
So what type of projects are you all working on? Can we expect to see any of those?
Yeah, let me clarify. So I Run and Shoot Filmworks was my production company.
Okay.
Right.
And she had the idea to do the film festival.
Gotcha.
So then we got
Married
collaboration.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merge things together.
Right. No, originally I supported her wholeheartedly.
Yes.
And then eventually it was like, okay, well, we'll just make it like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And in
who
terms of
chooses the movie on date night?
date night, we have two small children. We have
Yeah,
a
this is
10-year-old
date
and
night.
8-year-old. We don't
Yeah.
have too many date nights.
We're going to have to get you a babysitter so you can have a date night. Definitely.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, an easier question then. Where can people go to find out more information about the festival?
Go ahead.
So you can go to our website, which is mvaaff.com.
Okay.
You can like us on Facebook, Martha's Vineyard AA Film Festival, and you can follow us on Twitter, MV Film Festival. And one more thing I wanted to say really quick, another component that separates us, we're the only film festival that has an advertising component. So Saatchi & Saatchi, global advertising agency, has partnered with us for about 6 years, and they give out this Nothing is Impossible Producer Award. So we do the first round of entries for that, and we pass those films on to the Saatchi staff, and they narrow it down to 5 finalists or 6 finalists, and they give a huge cash prize and a statuette, and an opportunity to do a in-house work program with Saatchi to learn about advertising.
How huge is this cash
that.
prize you
Well,
mentioned?
Saatchi will be happy with that moment just now.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really big component. It is.
Smart girl. Smart girl.
Their whole initiative is diversity and inclusion.
Yes.
So they're
Okay.
trying to create more opportunities for diversity and inclusion in advertising.
Yes.
I think your sponsors will be very happy with us.
Did she get it all in?
Yes,
She got
you
it
did.
all in.
Good.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys
Thank you
on
so
the
much.
Vineyard. We
Yes.
appreciate your
Yes.
time. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.